21st. Jet Lehman, Matt Al. Well, the last full day of summer.
But what are you going to do?
I'm heading to the beach.
No, are you?
No, my hammock.
I may mow the lawn.
Oh, you come on over.
I want to get it over with.
I need to get mine done too. Yeah, I really need to do the same thing. So,
temperatures this morning, I'm going to let the frost
I'll wait
disappear.
until it thaws out a little first. Yeah.
25 degrees in Butte, 31 in Belgrade, 31 in Bozeman, 30 degrees in West Yellowstone to start the day. Clear skies, but there may be a little patchy fog. We had some showers yesterday. We have still conditions, meaning light wind and chilly with clear skies. That's perfect recipe, at least to see some low-lying fog in parts of the area. And planner calling for highs into the upper 60s for most of us for today. Again, it's a very pleasant day. It's nice to not have the smoke in our skies. And as we head toward the weekend, our temperatures will once again be bouncing back. We'll talk more about our chances of moisture heading toward the weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Could truly see that harvest moon last night.
Wasn't it beautiful?
It was beautiful this morning as well. 6:30, our top story this half hour. Both of Montana's U.S. senators loudly protesting the Biden administration's plan to keep the northern border with Canada closed for another month. Senator John Tester says he's bitterly disappointed and that there is no good reason to prohibit fully vaccinated travelers from crossing the border into the U.S. to conduct business and to visit family and friends. Tester called the decision short-sighted and said it would hurt folks in Montana and Canada who depend on trade and travel to stay in business. Senator Steve Daines says keeping the northern border closed while the southern border is wide open to illegal immigrants, flooding our communities with illegal drugs and overwhelming our law enforcement. Daines went on to say that many of those in the southern border are potentially unvaccinated. Tester's office says Montana exported $692 million in goods to Canada in 2018, representing 42% of the state's total goods exports. Canada opened up to vaccinated Americans, by the way, last month. And the State Board of Pharmacy has issued an emergency order to help pharmacists oversee and administer more vaccines for COVID-19 or other diseases here in the Treasure State. The order reinstates Montana Pharmacists Emergency Authority to oversee nurses and supervise more pharmacy technicians to administer vaccines. Missoula pharmacist and drugstore owner Eric Beyer says pharmacists need more bodies to meet a surge in demand for COVID-19 and other vaccines. He says many county health departments and medical offices across Montana have either cut back on or stopped offering COVID-19 vaccines. That means pharmacies are carrying more of the load. The rule had been in place but was removed when Governor Greg Gianforte lifted Montana's state of emergency order back in June. Beyer said pharmacists asked the governor to reinstate the rule, but he declined. So now they've asked the Board of Pharmacy to do it. Last week, the Gianforte administration also issued a separate emergency rule to make it easier for crowded Montana hospitals to move recovering patients to other available beds. In Bozeman, at Montana State University, mask-wearing rules are getting pushback. MTN's Annie Johnson reports.
Montana State University extended their mask mandate indefinitely, and some people are not happy with that decision.
To me and a lot of other students felt like a betrayal.
Which led to the creation of this online petition started by the Montana State chapter of Young Americans for Liberty. What's your biggest problem with the mandate?
We got two, really. One is just the idea of this top-down control over the students instead of making it a decision for the students or even a lower level like professors. And the other is, again, that sense of betrayal. We feel defrauded because we chose to come here, we chose to apply to this school under the guise of a normal semester.
But the university says they tried to go another route, but students left them no choice.
The university, the president, asked students to participate in wearing masks voluntarily as a matter of personal responsibility. 2 days after the start of the semester, we saw complete disregard for that request to voluntarily participate. And so we have gone to a mask requirement.
I asked students on campus what they thought about the decision.
I think it's a good idea. You know, if too many people get COVID, then they're going to go back online. So I think we should do everything we can to stop the spread.
I don't believe in it. I think for some people it is very important, and I think it's mostly a personal decision, and it should stay that way.
Doesn't matter. Not really a problem.
I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, you're taking away my freedoms, you're taking away my freedoms. But sometimes there are sacrifices that people have to make. I don't love wearing the mask. I get it. I mean, I hate wearing the mask. But after losing family members and things like that, I understand.
The mask mandate extension was announced last Friday and is for the foreseeable future. Reporting at Montana State University, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Now, Annie tells us the university did offer a full tuition refund to any student who wanted to leave the university at the beginning of the semester. But Dylan argues the decision did not give students time to enroll in a different university with classes already starting. That refund opportunity, by the way, has since closed. Here's the numbers. The latest report from the Montana State Department of Health shows 1,619 new COVID cases. There are more than 9,700 active cases in the state as of Monday, and 10 more people have died since Friday. Right now, there are 358 people in hospitals with COVID complications. Missoula, by the way, has the highest number of new cases. Flathead, Cascade, and Gallatin counties follow. Yellowstone County has the highest number of active cases. There are currently 74 new cases in Butte-Silver Bow, and they have 165 active cases. And as the state struggles to contain the latest COVID spike, COVID testing is not keeping up. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has that report.
Public health leaders say it's again taking longer for people to get results from their COVID-19 tests, and that's having an impact on how they're able to respond to new cases. Lewis and Clark Public Health says they've definitely noticed longer waits in recent weeks.
When I was talking to our nursing supervisor this morning, some of them can be as much as a week delayed in getting back to us.
Disease Control and Prevention Division Administrator Laurel Reek says laboratories are simply dealing with a lot more tests. In the last few weeks, the state of Montana has reported an average of well over 5,000 COVID tests are processed each day. For Lewis and Clark Public Health, the wait for a positive test is the first part of their contact tracing protocol.
Once we get notified that somebody is positive, then they would get a call from our contact tracer and be given some guidance on isolation and what that means and how to protect themselves and their family and the community. So it's a really important piece.
Contact tracers have already been under pressure from the latest wave of COVID cases.
We have had an opportunity to hire on some additional help, so that has been alleviated to a certain extent, but we are still hiring, trying to get some rest for our nurses.
Now, with the wait for test results, one other option could be rapid testing, but that may not be easy either. MTN spoke to several local stores that carry rapid tests, and they say they're selling out almost immediately. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. 6:37 now. In other headlines, it's nearly been accepted as fact that screen time is bad for children. However, during a time when kids are spending more time in front of a screen due to the pandemic, new research says it's not as bad as we may think. In some instances, it's beneficial. Vanessa Michanya spoke to the lead researcher who has some valuable answers for parents.
From schoolwork to Zoom classes to distractions, our kids get in a lot of screen time. With the way American children are growing up with access to tablets and phones being so different from how their parents did, many adults most likely have the same question.
Is screen time harming the nation's youth?
Katie Polish, a PhD student at CU Boulder, used data from nearly 12,000 9 and 10-year-olds to look for an answer to that question. What she and her colleagues found may be surprising.
We saw that it was related to a greater number of friendships and stronger social relationships. And we really didn't see anything with depression, anxiety, anything like that. So those are all good things.
There was an association in a small number of kids who spent more time on screens with attention disorders, poor sleep, and lower grades. However, the study says the influence that screen time had on these was minimal. For example, socioeconomic status had 2.5 times greater of an impact on such behavioral outcomes.
So any effects that we are seeing of screen time are very small, and they're really not dire.
As far as stronger social relationships, Polish says that usually came through online gaming, texting, and social media. But if children are to participate in these, she urges parental involvement.
It really comes down to using common sense with screens and seeing like, hey, if this video game is beyond, the age level of my child, maybe this is something we want to monitor.
But what about the amount of screen time? The study found the average screen time for kids was 4 hours on weekdays and 5 hours on weekends. Even given that seemingly high amount of hours, the impacts were small. Polish says one thing to keep in mind, however, is the content they're consuming. The more kids are using their brains, the better.
You should be mindful of screens and what your child is doing on screens, because certainly different activities can lead to different things. Like we know video gaming is more social versus something like watching TV, which is very stagnant. But the bottom line is, while you should be mindful, you really don't have to worry.
I'm Vanessa Bishania reporting.
Unless you're watching Montana This Morning, that's good screen time. We have another solution for you too. How about this? Give them a book instead. That's just what our Give a Child a Book campaign aims to do. We're asking you to join MTN staff members who've already donated to this cause to help us buy books to give to local elementary school kids. All the money raised will go to books. We have West Elementary in Butte, Saddle Peak Elementary in Belgrade are going to be getting our book donations. Our parent company Scripps is matching a hefty amount of all those donations as well. Also, Southwest Montana Honda dealers, Denny Menholt and Bozeman, and Luscavar Honda in Butte have donated $5,000 each. Now let's see what we can do these last few days of that campaign. There's a link on our website where you can help make a donation. We ask you to join us for that. It's a good thing. 6:40 now. We're going to take a break. When we come back, how much would you pay for a bottle of beer? After the break, learn how Sam Adams is about to put that question to the test in a big way. Spendy hardly describes the latest brew to hit the market. But first, here's Gail King with a look at what's happening at 7 o'clock on CBS Mornings.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS Mornings, President Biden addresses the UN General Assembly later this morning. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki joins us to discuss his message while he faces intense scrutiny from critical allies. And a CBS News investigation looks at whether state medical boards are protecting the patients. Hear from an insider how a doctor with a history of alleged misconduct did not lose his license. How'd that happen? And we'll take you on a tour of a brand new exhibit exploring the rich tradition of puppetry, how puppets are so much more than child's play. Who doesn't love a good puppet? We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.